Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Psh, psh. Boo ba doo. Boom ba doo. See, this is like the intro music. Do do do. It's almost like I stole it from someplace. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's Halite time. It's Halite time. Or is it Pepsi time? Tonight's episode brought to you by not one, but two cans of Pepsi. The patented. I think that's patented. Right? Remember when the commercials all had that long, long ago? No, you don't, because you're all younger than me. Okay. I think you gave a speech about Indiana Jones today, Chippy? That is awesome. By the way, I should have said this to you earlier today when I saw you, but you are welcome to join us in the Z-Mumbles if you feel like interacting at that level. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just mentioning that as long as you show up with a microphone that works, you are welcome to join us, coding or no coding. Okay. So, modern day treasure hunting. Ah, yes. What would a modern... Well, that's kind of what we're doing here, right? We're doing modern day treasure hunting. We're putting a bunch of bots to go find treasure. That's what this is. We should retitle the episode. Tonight's episode is no longer whatever I titled it, Redoing Moving or something like that. We're going to retitle it Modern Day Treasure Hunting, because that's what this is. Okay. Quick recap. Last night, I guess it was a night and a half ago. Maybe it was last night. Last night, submitted bot. Bot had... or I submitted my old bot, actually, because I deemed the sweeper bot to be a disgusting disgrace and a failure. And I submitted the one that should be winning, and somehow it just hasn't lived up to its old namesake. Its rating has gone down. And so at the moment, I am sitting at 53.35, Kevin is sitting at 53.95, and Simland, a.k.a. King Richard, is sitting at 55.67. I believe Kevin is working tonight, so I don't know if we'll see him before I finish for the night, because I have to wake up early tomorrow morning to get like 20 more people on the team. That'll be kind of fun. And I don't know if King Richard's going to join us tonight or not either, so we'll see. He's probably getting ready for a birthday party tomorrow. His daughter is turning 1. Congrats! Well, I think technically she turned 1 today. Is my date right? 10/25. I'm so confused. 26 is Liam. I don't know. Not all that important. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It is important. It's not relevant to what we're doing right now on the stream. Okay, so let's jump down this road here and see where we are. So last night I decided I need to redo my movement, and I'm going to show this real quick. And hopefully Kevin's not watching because I don't want him to know what's going to happen here. I spent a portion of my night before I fell asleep last night just thinking through this, and then this morning I decided to put what I thought on paper. Because paper is always a good thing to do when, I like flow charting, I like this stuff, but you got to write your thoughts down, otherwise you lose them. So, first, we are going to order our group, or order by destination closest to home first, then distance from home. What do I mean by that? Well, our movement function, here's the thing we need to realize, right? To make moves and to have them be successful, the ships can't collide. That's like the worst case scenario. So the problem there is, if you have 4 ships that all want to go home at the exact same moment, how do you make sure they don't collide into one another? Well, the short answer is you have them check. Is somebody going to be landing on that space? Or you could look at it the other way. Is somebody already on that space? You could also do that check. Right now, we're doing the is somebody already on that space check? If so, don't move. The problem with that is the bots are actually capable of swapping spots, so you don't want to do that. You just want to make sure that only one person is going to that destination. So So we need to make that happen. The other thing, though, but to do that, we then need to determine who has priority over things. And so the way my thought process worked, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I think anybody that is closest to their destination should go first. So people who are about to turn in Halite should go first. People who are about to arrive at the node they're trying to go to should go first. And I want it to do it by the ones closest to home first, I guess is probably the best way to say it. Like I want the ones that are trying to get home to get home. That's kind of the whole thing. So we're gonna prioritize by their destination. If they're trying to get home, we want that to happen. Then distance from home. So the further out they are in a spiral radius from that, and I shouldn't say home, from a drop-off, then they're going to go later. And this is actually relatively easy to do. Then, as our second thing, we're then going to start weighting moves. So we'll generate a list of, for each bot, we'll generate a list of moves that says, does it get me closer to my target? Then we're going to order that list. Do any move me away from enemies while getting closer? So the idea here being that we want to try to keep our bot alive. So if given two choices on how to get there, we want to take the one that is going to move us away from an enemy, not closer to them. So for example, if you're like here and an enemy is sitting here, it'd be better to go this way most likely. Again, it's not guaranteed. We're just trying to figure out a path. Then, and this one's probably, like, in the scheme of things, this is probably low priority at this point. I'll worry about that one later. Then filter list. Is anyone already scheduled to go there? And so this makes sense, right? We don't want to go someplace where somebody else is also trying to go this turn. And thankfully, because we prioritized it, we know that the person trying to go there second is actually not the one with priority. So if somebody's already trying to go there, that move's gone. If no remaining moves that get you closer to the thing, then the question becomes, do I need to do enemy ship avoidance? So is there a ship, and I'm going to mark this low for now. So, for example, if I have 1,000 halite on me and there's an enemy ship within 3, is there something I can do to move away from that ship? Because I don't want to, have a problem. Can I need to do enemy ship keep at 3? So is there something I can do to cause inspiration during pickup? Is kind of is there a move I could do that, even though it doesn't get me closer to my target, can I do something that's inspiring? Do I need to do enemy ship attack? Is there something worth attacking within range? In which case, maybe on my way to get Halite, I want to take out an enemy ship because it's loaded with 800 and destroy them. For now, I'm going to mark this one low as well. I'll probably come back to that. Then it should ask, can I stay here? Is somebody trying to go where I am right now? If not, I can probably just stay where I am because I'll get there next turn. Are there any other open moves? Meaning, if I can't stay here and all my other good reasons for moving are gone, are there even any open moves I can make? Or am I surrounded and in a dire situation because somebody is trying to get to my spot? If yes, there are two questions, or if there are no open moves, then the question we need to ask, can I build a base? Because probably the self-destruct is not, it's probably better to build a base than it is to self-destruct in most situations. Also, if I can't build a base, is there a person I can collide with that makes sense to collide with? Like, can I maybe collide with an enemy instead of myself or something like that? And so that determines, I think that's everything I want to do in terms of how the bot determines where and how to move. And then the last part in this process is how do we go about assigning moves, and that gets into targeting. And this is what we've been focusing on so far, like trying to come up with different ways of determining what our target should or should not be. At this point, I don't really want to. How do I say this? I want to have as many options open in my targeting algorithm as possible, because this, for me, is where the machine learning is going to come into play. And I'd like to maybe look at some genetic algorithms to do that, maybe with a little Bayesian learning as well, to try to figure out what factors are actually relevant. Like, for example, for a particular bot that I've built, how important is the amount of halite on the map, or maybe how important is the location of the halite on the map. That's kind of stuff that Bayes does a pretty dang good job of getting that data out of. Again, this is down the road, not tonight. But there's my plan. I wanted to share my plan with those who may be watching. That way you can copy it and steal it. So yeah, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be helping a bunch of kids build their first bot, which is going to be another whole process. So let's talk about where I'm at, because I did write just a small amount of this movement test thing last night. I started Turtle Move 2 and Deliver 2. These are version 2.0s, if you will. I didn't want to get rid of the other one just yet, because it may still come in use. So first, I suppose we could take care of the order by destination thing. How hard would that be right now? We're going to come back to that. I want to get the basic movement thing done, if I can. And I got to think this through in some way, shape, or form. So, where'd my bot go? Turtle Move 2. Okay. So, if ship... Okay, so that's going to flip the state. So here we have, if the ship's able to move by our normal move rule, move north. The only move I'm going to allow my turtle to make right now is move north. Right now, I want him to be able to do it in a way that makes sense. So if we're going to push... So first we need to check if that's a valid move. Now, this is... The order of things is what's kind of got my brain a little mind-boggled, partially because I really should, I'm so behind on sleep. But let's just see what we can do. So, check the spot north of us. Well, actually, before we even do that, we need a way of marking the spots where somebody's going. And since we're going to do that every turn, I think we can just use the map. I don't see why not. I would think we could just use the map. So let's do that. Game map, so let's check a location. Game map dot Oh, we did this. We did this before. I just remembered. We had is targeted. Where was that? That's here. Is targeted for each target destination. So, but that's overall targeted. This is targeted for move, and it needs to be a location. I got to think about this a little bit. Too many options. You know what? I kind of want to take this. Oh, we'll stay here for now. Game map dot get. So the targeted move is move north. That builds out the move line. I feel like I'm oversimplifying this, but at the same time having the exact same problem. GameMap.get location position and no, this is not right. It's ship new position ship.position.x, ship.position.y minus 1. So that's going to get us that location. But I feel like I should create my own array for this, because I don't know. Let's do this. If dot is targeted, then what we'll do here is we'll say I want to log. I want to just, there's going to be a lot of logging for this little bot, because I want to be able to see what they've got to say. I want to know every move so that I can, when it comes time to debug, I can do that. Deliver, move to. Okay, so we're going to location is targeted, staying still. So in the event that the location is targeted, we're going to stand still. Otherwise, we are going to command q.push, and we are going to set it equal to true. So it's going to move north. If it's targeted, we're going to stay still. If it's not targeted, we're going to move. Sounds reasonable to me, at least in some way, shape, or form. And this still assumes all of that. Also, and this is a good point. Hey, Nick, welcome. Also, even if it's targeted and we're staying still, we actually still need to mark a cell targeted. We need to mark the cell we're in targeted. There we go. All right, I'm not muted, am I? You're muted. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so that's going north. Now, in theory, the same logic works then for our deliver code. So this is going to be anytime this is, I gotta think about this now. New state equals move if distance to home equals 0. That sounds right. But it can do that. We may have to figure that out. There's going to be a distance to one thing. So we'll come back to that in any case. So we've got distance to home, we got destination, that's fine. So this code is actually still right, but the bot can only go south now for delivering. At least that's the plan. So basically they're going to move up if they're, for this particular simulation, they're going to move up if they're trying to harvest, and they're going to move down if they're trying to get home. And we're going to start with just 2 bots, but so game map dot +1 is targeted, game map +1 is targeted. Move south. We've got that. Location is targeted, staying still. That sounds good. I kind of want to log the turtle. Let's do that. Turtle dot not tuttle, turtle. Turtle dot ship ID equals ship ID equal it doesn't need to equal anything. It's just what it is. Hello, Chops. Welcome to Coding with Dad.
Nice. Is this where the spaghetti code is? Because I'm kind of hungry.
There's no spaghetti code here. It's all object
Oh!
oriented.
Bad jokes.
Location is not targeted.
Bad jokes.
You gonna code a bot tonight finally?
You know what? I'm thinking about it. I just finished what I was working on
Well, there you go.
today. So maybe.
I mean, even if all you did was get like a simple bot into the scoreboard, that helps us in
Yeah, I
our.
could drag your whole team down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't count anything other than wins. They don't even register the losses. But you could build a simple bot in any language you want, and then you could like beat Richard after 15 minutes, and he'd be like, "How did Chops do that?"
Yeah, I don't think it would. I don't think that would happen.
Well, you never know. So let's just see.
I did just finish a professional certificate in data science, though.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I've been working on. So
Okay, so let's see if these two bots manage to destroy each other.
I'm gonna attack Watch Point Gibraltar.
Sounds good. We could rename the shipyard Watch Point Gibraltar.
Neat.
Gibraltar. So why is this turtle not moving north?
Because you keep calling it a turtle.
Maybe he's slow. He's trying to win the race, but the other turtle was smart enough not to crash into him. That's an improvement. Interesting. So let's look through the logs here.
Well, maybe I've been thinking about working on some AI stuff, but we'll see.
Okay, so what turn did bot... Okay, so it was bot 11. So it says it's targeted. And you know what I just realized? We need to reset the board every single time. Interesting. Does that change my plans?
No, guys, pull back.
Not really. So we're gonna go up here. We'll loop over game map, I guess. We're probably gonna have to do that anyway at some point for other reasons. Makes sense to do it now. So for x equals 0, x is less than game map dot width, x plus plus. We're going to put a comment here just so I don't forget what this is doing. Loop over game map reset all targets. For y equals 0, y is less than game map dot height, y plus plus. Game map whatever, x, y. So these are, just standard looping through the entire array type stuff. Is targeted equals false. So that is there. I think that's all we need. Let's run it. Will the turtles die, Chops, or will they just continue to move in a nice, orderly fashion?
I don't even know. That's what makes it so exciting, though.
They crashed. But why did they crash? They never detected it. They never detected what was going on. Okay. So let's go figure out what we missed. If ship dot... Yeah, okay. Oh. Also, this can also be another reason for staying still. We should probably make note of that, otherwise it again doesn't know we're here. And if it doesn't know we're here, somebody's going to crash into us. That's just the way the world works. Staying still due to lack of halite in hold. Save. Run. Hey, Penguin. Welcome. Hey, Fabio. As far as ship IDs, the ship IDs are numeric, and they do go up by one with each ship. However, they are unique between all of the ships in the game. So if you spawn one and then your enemy spawns one, you could potentially have like ship ID 0 and ship ID 2, or ship ID 0 and ship ID 5 if 4 other opponents spawn ships. So you can't rely on the fact that they're going up by one to keep track of various things. Like I tried doing that at one point, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? And yeah, quite simply, those IDs are unique to all ships on the map. So keep that in mind. Hope that helps. Hey, thanks for the bits, Penguin. Appreciate it. Are you excited for tomorrow when we do this in Computer Club? Get a working bot? Okay. Did I actually run this? I don't know if I... Oh, I didn't add it to the... other bot either. It's got to be on the deliver.
I think I might have just won a game.
You won a game and you finished your first bot, Nick? Guys, you hear that? Nick might have a working bot.
The default JavaScript one with a couple of values changed.
Yeah. That's all Computer Club's doing tomorrow. It's something.
I'm not entirely sure.
Let's see. So they did crash still. Running. Let's see. Why? So wait, are you on the leaderboard then? Because you ran a game?
Yeah, with a rating of 13.6.
So, I mean, not to discourage you at all, because I think this is awesome that you're here. I will mention that's the lowest rating I've seen in our team so far. No. I'm giving you a hard time, Cheppy. But that's
okay.
It's still pretty awesome. Can we go watch the game? You were just running the basic bot?
Yeah.
And
I don't care.
It was that low,
or,
right?
Something, and then I changed values. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's watch the game you won. You won.
Oh, wow.
You won
There's
more.
a lot of them.
Yeah, you played a lot of games.
I won 2 of them.
Yeah, you got 3 bots out here. They then get stuck. And I would like to point out, this is always my favorite way to win in one of these games. You won because the other opponent got stuck just a little bit before you. Which is kind of fun.
That's okay.
Yep. Take the win. That's great progress there.
The first one was better. They actually did something.
Let's see. So wait, did you switch to JavaScript, or are you running the Python bot, the tutorial?
No, it's in JavaScript.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so game map position X. Did I change that? So yeah, I did. -1, good. +1. -1 is up. Yep. +1 is down, so that should be fine. Game map. If it is targeted, then we stand still and mark our own location as targeted. Logging, location is targeted, staying still. Logging, location is not targeted, moving. Ship position Y is targeted, command push south. That looks fine. So the only scenario here where we don't move south is if we don't have enough stuff. Ship.halite amount, blah, 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 blah. It's greater than that, then that. Distance to home equals 0. Set it back to move. Yeah, I don't understand what failed here, so let's watch this. Yeah, it does pretty well with no tweaks. That's true. You should, with no tweaks at all, you should be getting like 30.
Oh, so I made it worse by changing values.
Yeah, the question is, which values did you change?
I changed, let's see. So if ship.halite amount is greater than constant max halite divided by 1.5, then safe move to somewhere.
So you changed the You changed it from a 2 to 1.5. Is that the one you changed?
I think so. So I was trying to make it so that it has to get fuller before it goes back.
Yeah, more full. Okay. That shouldn't necessarily be a horrible change. In fact, that should be a perfectly fine change. I'm trying to think what other ones to change, but yeah, that's not a bad one. Although, I will say this, early on in the game, having that number be higher means you get more ships faster. Just for the record.
Ah, okay.
So, like, half...
Because you get Halite.
Yeah, exactly. You can get that 1,000 Halite to get that first ship. Because if you wait... I guess the best way to say it is, if you think of it this way, if you have 2 ships, and you send them both out to get 800, that's going to take longer than sending them out to get 500. And you only need 500 from each of those ships to get 1,000 to get your next ship. And whereas the 800 will get you closer to getting that 4th ship, but it won't get you closer to the 3rd ship. So, and then the question is, how much time do you save with the 3rd ship? And that's just math at that point. Frustrating math. Why in the world is this bot open? That's not the bot I'm working on. I'm working on this one. Okay. Yeah. So this game has so many little twists and turns in it. It is hard to realize just how many things impact other things. Like, I was even looking at some of the machine learning stuff today, and I was like, man, these bots will learn things, but all it takes is like changing like any small thing, and the whole thing goes awry. Location is targeted, staying still. Location is targeted. Location is targeted, staying still due to... So, I thought we had it... We have it logging, in theory, every... We don't have it targeted here. Let's mark this down. Location is... Location is not targeted. Moving. Because here's the thing. I wanted to see something every single turn for what the bot was doing, and somehow I'm not. It's like there's another conditional in here somewhere that's not giving me the information I want. Logging is your friend, people. All kids love log. Things that have meaning to me, but not anybody else. That expression. I think it's from Ren and Stimpy, actually. Now I gotta go Google that. Is that right? All kids love log. Ren and Stimpy. Oh, it is! Can we watch this?
All kids love log. All kids love log. All kids love log.
Ah, that's not the whole thing. Let's try this one. It's like an early My Generation meme. Where's the sound? Oh. Gotta rewind.
One rolls and there's a motor and there's rolled over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and sits on your back? It's log, log, log. It's log, log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, log. It's better than that, it's good. Everyone wants a log. You're gonna love it log. Come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log.
Log from Blammo.
Ah, there we go. Ah, memories. The all kids love log though. That's the real thing. Okay. So the bot moves north. The other bot shows on the scene. Come on, other bot. He never moves. Why am I looking at this game? Why am I looking at... Okay. So we look through the logs here. Turn 1, nothing happens because nothing should happen. Location is not targeted. Moving. Okay. Let's pop out the replay so we can look at the log while we do this.
Hey, I changed some more stuff. Now I'm winning more.
See? Somehow we lost the log in the process of... There we go. Can we, like, shrink this window and have it... Oh, I don't want to shrink both windows. Oh, whatever. Okay, so pause. Rewind. So turn 1. Turn 2. Location is not targeted moving, so it's going to move. There we go. Location is targeted. Staying still due to lack of halite. Okay, he didn't move. Location is not targeted moving. He goes up 1. Nope. Location is targeted. Staying still due to lack of halite. Location is not targeted, or is targeted. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2. We're going to go all the way to turn 9. Then on turn 9, we're going to then... Location is not targeted moving. Looks great. Then our second bot enters the scene. Location is targeted, staying still, blah, 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 blah. I want to jump ahead. Where do they collide? They collide on turn 17. So turn 16 is the turn in question here. So the first bot says location is not targeted, moving. Second bot says location is targeted, staying still due to lack of halite. Okay, so this is the whole thing we talked about, the queue and being able to do things in order. The bot needs to know that the location it's going to, even in a non-move state, is not targeted. So we need to fix that problem. And I'm not looking at the right code. This is the right code. And let's get it out of microscopic mode. I don't know how big. I've been operating in an overly large interface. I forgot for Twitch. Okay, so... It's log. It's better than bad. It's good. Is targeted true? Is targeted true? Okay, so right if game map, we need to check. Location is still targeted due to lack of halite and hold. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the location. And in the event that it is targeted, now this is a good question. How do we handle the scenario where it then can't move? Huh. That's an intriguing problem. So first bot says, I'm going to go there. Second bot says, I can't move. I have no halite. First bot needs to change what it's saying. The question becomes to what, though? Well, in theory, we could cancel it out. So what if instead of true, we say ship? Because it'll evaluate to true because it's set, and it'll allow us to talk to the ship in the event that we need to change something about its move. So if game map new position dot is targeted, then what we're going to do is we're going to tell the previous ship person that they can't do what they want to do. So what we're going to do, we'll do this. Oh, but we need to. It's actually in queue. How do we get it out of queue? We have to have our own queue. Something we can manage, maybe. Command Q push is going to put it onto the stack with no... I wonder what it's keyed on. Let's look at the code for Command Q. That's something I don't think I've looked at yet. We haven't really talked about it. Let's see. Halite, maybe? Nope. Here we go. And the command queue. Commands, maybe? Nope. Let's try... It's hard to believe that that's all the commands this game has. 8 total commands that can be done. With a number of variations, mind you, but... Constants, entity, game map, index, logging, networking, positionals... It's not here. Maybe game map? I don't know why it would be part of game map. Q. Maybe, actually, let me go back and look at that line of code, because now that I think about it, I'm not sure any of that is special. Was it just a push command? It is. It's just a push. So this is just an array. Array pushes, but it's not getting indexed on anything. Ship.move. What exactly does ship.move return? That's a ship. That's an entity. Entities have constructors. Ships have move.
I had one person beat me just because they only spawned one turtle or whatever and just like moved across the entire map and just started with more
Funny.
than I ended up with.
Yeah, they started with the 4,000 instead of 5 effectively. Or
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, or whatnot.
And
Hey,
I just
King
didn't
Richard.
get over 4,000.
Hello.
Welcome to Streaming with Dads.
My daughter's birthday stream.
Yeah, this is true. Happy birthday,
Are you guys
Scarlett.
coming tomorrow?
I believe that is the plan.
Okay. Elizabeth was confused because your wife said yes and you said maybe.
I think I said maybe like the day she sent out the invite, and I thought I tagged it with a note, ask Amber. But maybe I'm crazy.
No, it's okay. Just confirming. I got the light in my kitchen working, and it's been like 2 years since it hasn't been working.
Oh, nice.
I replaced all of the bulbs. I don't know if they're going to last because I have a hunch it's the ballast. If it's not the ballast, then I just had unbalanced fluorescent light bulbs. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I don't know. Light works. I gave her light for her birthday.
Let there be light.
Yeah. What's going on in the Halite world tonight?
So, earlier in the stream, and I'm not going to go over it all again. Earlier in the stream, I came up with... I had documented out exactly what my movement strategy is going to be this time around. So I'm trying to build a much more universal movement strategy that should work for me. Even if I change my targeting strategy, my movement strategy will, I believe, stay the same. And so right now I'm just trying to do a very basic test of it, involving 2 bots. I can probably just rewind one of these replays here. 2 bots going north-south. They can go north to gather, south to go home. And they're not allowed to collide.
Sure.
And
Been there.
And so far, they love to collide.
Been there as well.
Yeah, so and I'm trying to figure out if, and maybe you have an idea for this. So I was trying.
I'm the idea guy.
Yeah, I was trying to do it without basically creating a whole nother game map to work from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I added this is targeted to, and targeted probably is the wrong word because I was using is targeted for something else earlier, 4 or 5 days ago. So basically, if a bot is trying to go someplace, and in fact, I'm not even going to use that example because I changed it. If a bot is trying to go someplace, it will assign itself to that place, and that gets reset every turn. So once it's targeted, no other bot will try to target it, thus no collisions. Except...
Are you extending... Do you have your own game map object?
You always have your own game map.
No, I mean, is targeted?
It's just a variable that I tacked on the game map.
Do you reconfigure it every time?
Yes, it gets set back to false every time.
Every single time.
Every loop of
I'm
the
sure
wild.
Kevin's already told you that your game map is being reset every single time. So anything that you add onto it is getting effectively cleared out, probably.
Yeah, and so that false may be redundant at this point, but yes.
Well, redundancy is good because it makes sure of things.
Yes, yep, exactly. So I'm not worried at this point. My problem isn't in the clearing. My problem is there's a very particular scenario where if bot 1 says, I'm not going to move because I don't have enough halite.
Yes.
Puts itself as targeted because its location
its own
is...
location. Yep.
Yep. Because it's now not safe to go there.
Yep.
Bot number 2 comes along. Sorry. I'm doing them in the wrong order. Sorry. Bot 1 says, I'm going to go to that bot.
So you have any bot that comes up in your for loop before is causing your problem.
Yeah, exactly. So the first bot says, I'm going to go to where that ship is. The second bot says, I can't move.
Or is that the problem you still have?
That's the problem I have.
Okay.
I want to build a rewind to undo it. But the issue I have right now, and this is what I'm trying to get around, is that the way I have things coded, I'm pushing this stuff right onto the stack.
Yes.
Is there some mind-blowing way that I'm not thinking of that I can remove something from that array without...
Yeah,
there's a really easy way.
Okay. That's what I'm looking for.
Dictionaries.
What?
Oh, wait.
What's the really easy way?
No, I literally just hopped in like 4 seconds ago.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to before I push it on the command queue, I'm creating I have my own object essentially.
Yeah, you have your own queue.
I have my own queue that is much easier to search.
Yeah, and see that's
search by different things. I can search by ship. I don't have it quite yet because I refactored all day, and I finally have 2 ships that can travel north and don't crash my anything, so it's good. But I will be able to search by position as well, and then it doesn't matter at which time. So the problem that you still have, and the problem that I still have technically, is you still have to process in an order, right?
Yep.
You still have to
That's
process in an order.
For what I want to do.
Sure. It's not easy for what I want to do. But you still have to process in order. So what I'm going to end up doing
What's the hard part for you? Is it the figuring out the order to process in, or is it the processing in order?
For me, it's not hard. I just have to make it happen. I have a priority. So ships by state have priority, and whatever is the top priority gets first dibs at a spot essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that changes state later on to something that was a top priority will have its move recalculated essentially. So it'll like go back in time and see if there's a problem. Also, I'm returning more than one move, so that if the priority spot's not available, it'll check the remainder of the moves to see if they're available.
Why not just process the turtles in priority order?
Well, it does get processed in priority order, but because, say, for example, I prioritize returning, right? Because I want cash now, right? Cash now is more important than anything else.
Okay.
That's almost universally true in this game, right? So something is exploring, that's going to be a priority after returning, if something is exploring and it now meets the criteria to flip over to returning, and I would like for it to actually execute the returning move this turn rather than it do another dumb explore move or sit on its node when it shouldn't be sitting on its node, which is kind of what my old code did, I would change it to returning. Now I have to go reprocess it as if it was in the returning state, which has already completely fired for all the ships in that state, right? So that's the challenge that I have that I'm gonna have to code for. But
you should have been able
too hard.
You should have been able to detect that change in state before you even got there.
No,
because you can't do two things in a turn. So
no, because of the way that I'm processing my ships. I am no longer doing for ship and me.get ships. Like, that is gone.
Okay.
I am completely managing all of the ships myself. And at the start of every loop, I just validate that the list of ships that I have is still valid based on the ships I got from the system.
Yep.
And the first check I do basically is check to see if they're dead. And that will change their state from wherever they are to dead. So I still have a list of the fact that they existed, because eventually I'm going to have statistics based on that, or perhaps in-game analytics, so I can figure out if people are dying in a specific area and just stay away from that area or something like that. But my point is that if you keep your move queue separate and you keep it in like a map object or an object, where you can allow for the position to be the key, and you can easily search to see if it exists there already, and able to then once you're certain that storage or whatever, the way that you're storing those moves is good, hunky dory, then you can pass that along to the move queue. And that's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, see, that was the solution you just provided is the one I was specifically saying I didn't want. So,
well, you're not going to be able to get around it, I don't think.
I could. I just don't know that
How?
I want to.
I heard you literally talk about one of the biggest problems is like you don't know the index of that move, and you're going to have to search by the value. So you're going to have to go through Command Q and check to see which value is equal to the move you're looking to remove, and then you can cut it out of the array.
Yeah.
But so from a functionality standpoint, that's functional. But from a performance standpoint,
it's identical.
I don't know if it's good or bad.
It's identical to the one you're suggesting.
I don't think so.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Unless the key is... There is a potential optimization that yours will do that mine won't.
There's absolutely. Like, JavaScript is designed for... I'm using stuff that's inherent to JavaScript that already, like...
Yeah,
everything has been shown to be, like, so much faster than the old search everything.
Yeah, you're actually using math. You're using index times whatever as opposed to searching for it. But yeah, so that's and that's a speed improvement. But it's
it's speed
relatively
and easy
negligible one.
because if you use the map or the app object type in JavaScript, you don't have to do a lot of transformations to like integers or something like that. You can literally pass in position, the object position XY, and that is the key.
Yeah,
so it'll instantly find it if something is stored there.
You're actually storing your keys as position, though? Your key is position?
Yes, you can do that with maps. Anything can be a key for the most part with maps.
I wonder what's going on behind the scenes there. So it's probably keyed on some sort of
it's just
object
a
ID.
memory index.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is it not?
It's all just ones and zeros.
You can say that, but that's almost a null statement.
Ones and zeros.
Boom.
There, bro.
Yeah. So is using integers to use your
No, you can do that. You literally could do that. We could also program an ASM, but I'm saying from a readability and just overall ease of programming, like
if
I can take out like 7 steps, huzzah.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad way to go. It's just it intrigued me.
Just like my array fix today, where I was pushing on nested arrays because I was dumb and forgot that I had to manually spread them out myself and attach and apply them or whatever, concatenate them one by one. Just using the triple dot notation allowed for me to fix it in like 3 characters rather than setting up a giant for loop and having a nightmare. What was I going to do? Oh, my problem also today is I was getting into this issue where I was starting to tightly couple my classes. Where I was basically going to have to pass everything back and forth and make sure that the references were correct. And I've realized that that's not the right way to go about it, because then I will just basically be spaghetti code, but locked via classes rather than being able to use global very easily. So I'm moving logic back to the main thing and using my state classes to really just do state processing.
Makes sense. Sounds familiar.
Yep.
Okay, so I have to build my own queue.
What's funny is like my main loop right now is because I don't have any spawn states. I don't have a spawn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is if I exclude the spawn and I exclude the logging, my main loop is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of code. Which is nice. I want to get to the point where all I have to do is build new states that are like not many lines of code. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The actual title. 7 object with 2 fields. I don't want to do that.
Map. Not array.map. Map. The thing where if you look in the code behind everything that runs the game, underscore ships is a map.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried. I'm
okay.
Trying to understand how to achieve a very particular, like, if a particular command exists in JavaScript.
Index of.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm wondering if you can push an associated key. Like, so typically when you push in a value onto the end of an array, it will do just that. It'll push a value onto the end of the array, but it won't give you a way to associate a key with it. So, because
you want the return, because push returns the array, right?
I don't care about the return necessarily in this case. I just want to make sure that the item that I'm putting on the array goes on the end.
And it always goes on the end with the push.
No, it doesn't.
Can you give me an example where it doesn't?
Pushing 2 things on with the same key in some instance, and that's in JavaScript. I'm not even sure. So the behavior there would be weird anyway.
That's literally what I was talking about today.
Yeah.
What it does is it pushes an array onto that one index. So you would have, if you push it on to say 3, you have 3, 1, 3, 2, or 3, 0, 3, 1, right? Because it's an array inside array. So if you want to push 2 values on, that's where you can use the triple dot notation. But it's not going to tell you. It's not. I don't think it can tell you how many objects you push. It just handles. It's just a spread notation, right? So you could set up your own code to parse whatever you're passing in if you're parsing multiple values. If you're only pushing in 1 value though, then you should be good. But are you pushing more than 1 value?
No. Well, I guess technically 2 if you count the key, but
what? Command Q doesn't take a key.
No. Command Q just...
It returns like 3 characters. Or like one character, a space, a number, a space, and another character, I think.
Okay, I have a question.
Shoot.
So, is it a constant?
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever.
So what's the difference between a constant and a variable?
Well, const is going to be limited by scope, but you can actually change constants. Usually you can't. I think it's a shorthand, but it's going to keep scope to whatever it's inside. And then var is going to put it on the global, I believe.
I'm going to change what Richard just said. A const will be read-only.
How does Command Q get modified then?
Because there's an exception to the rule. So the value itself cannot be redefined. However, if you are assigning an object to a const, as is the Command Q in this case, it's becoming an array. You can change the values of... Like, you can change the contents of the object.
So you can't... Okay, I was very confused with that line today.
Yeah, but you can't change it from something... You can't change...
It still has to be an array. You can't change its type.
Yeah, you can't like I can't do this. We should be able to just demonstrate this. You can't do...
Command Q equals
that. 1. Yeah.
So,
7, but yes.
Yeah, but one of the bigger things is scope.
Command Q is a constant.
There are 3 ways to define a variable if you're going to use that kind of notation: var, const, and let. And I believe var everywhere, or in most places, puts it on the global. So if you want to keep scope, so you don't want things bleeding over to another function or something like that, use let. And if you do want it to stay apparently the same type, constants is the way to go. So can you can change, so if you made it equal to 1, you can make it equal to 2 at a later time?
No.
So it's only special with arrays or objects or maps?
Objects. The keyword there is objects. It can't be a native type. So
an array is not a native type?
No, arrays are objects.
Hey, I actually added something. It didn't crash.
Cool.
Red Dead Redemption comes out.
This is
but
way
not
more
for
fun.
the PC, so don't care.
Okay, so back to deciding how I want to represent this then. So Command Q, effectively a second Command Q keyed on position. That's not a bad way to go.
And I would use a map. I think you can use the object type too, but they've made it so that maps have more, I think, defined helper functions already built on them. And there's some performance enhancements, I think, for maps. Objects do have a few points in their favor. I just don't remember what they are. I was looking at them briefly today, and I was like, if it becomes a problem, we'll readdress this.
Do I want... It'd be interesting. I would be curious to run a speed test between a map of positions and a 2D array keyed on X and Y. I understand the whole reason for using a map. I use it in all the other languages I use because they're maps by default, effectively, but not all the other languages. PHP primarily.
We'll go to JS Perf or whatever it is.
What is that? Is there a performance website out there?
Yeah.
I want to see this. JS
I think-
perf.
Yeah, it's JS perf.
I want to. How does this? JS perf aims to create and share test cases. Cool. So
It might even be like. It might even already have it.
I would bet they do. I mean, this has to be. Somebody has to be out there thinking like me and being like, yeah, 2D array versus map.
I don't know how you search though. Did you find the
I
search?
clicked on the word test cases and it's been spinning, so I'm just kind of hoping all the test cases are going to end up on my screen, and there's a lot of them. But we'll see.
For each versus map. But I
Map.
think that's an array.
Map
thing.
versus 2D array. Let's try that. Oh, but this is a hash. Although, no, this says hash map. I don't necessarily want a hash map. Although, I now wonder if maps are hash maps behind the scenes, because that would change things again, too.
Why does that change things? I think that's what they are.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they are actually hash map. Like, if the implementation is a hash map. If it's a hash map, then I can understand. Then it's two lookups, effectively. Which, that's not too bad. Maps are special. I want performance. I don't really need it. I don't really care. And from ease of coding, it's just stupid. Map reduce the pain of dealing with arrays. No. Why do we use a hash table over 2D arrays? Put simply, good quality hash algorithm. See, this is what I'm saying. Or you're using PHP, where all arrays are really hash tables. This is the world I'm used to living in. That's funny though. Okay, you know what? Apparently, JS Perf has problems, and CloudFront
it
isn't
used
able.
to be better.
Cloudflare isn't able to deal with it at the moment, so we will. We're gonna just accept this and go ahead and use Richard's mind here, I guess. I guess we can just declare it here at the same time. Let's use a const. I don't know why. It just seems like fun. We'll call it Justin's command Q, and it will be a new map. And I can't type. There we go. So Justin's command Q is here. So now we can go way down here. And I mean, I guess technically that's not global. So now I gotta pass. No, I don't. I just need to replace every place. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the problem that I have
Boom.
too.
You know what? No, I don't. Here's what I do. I just rename the command queue to map. Delete Justin's command queue because that's just silly. Then down here, we're going to change this to final submission. And then var final submission equals, and then this is going to be something here at some point. I could probably just, I guess it's just this. Command Q dot for.
Is that 3 if
each.
statements I see?
I'll comment it out.
No. I meant the question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh. Yes! That's exactly what it is.
I have one of those in my old code.
Yeah. Command Q for each function command, or we'll just call it
Look up
arg.
arrow functions.
I'm coming for whoever Blueby is.
Nice. Why? I don't need the key.
Because it just makes it easier.
There's a way to do what I'm doing that's easier than what I'm doing.
Technically. It's not really, but yeah.
Okay, so how would you rewrite this with the arrow?
It would be for each, and then it would be outer parentheses, right?
Just
have,
read the English. Don't worry about the symbols.
For each, then parentheses, value, comma, key, arrow, curly bracket, your logic using value and key however you would like. And then curly bracket.
You
need more bracket.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Hold on. Too many things going on at once here.
So I'll show you how I my logging. This is how I just have a log function to easily spit out all the maps.
Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, interesting little shorthand to get rid of the function call.
It does do. Yeah, it does. Well, it's still a function.
Yeah, no, I know. It's similar to the same shorthand that's being used right here, where you don't put the word function in front of it. But
yes.
Yeah.
There are differences though.
Probably that it doesn't return.
No, you can have a return. If you do a return, you have to do something else. I forget what. But it doesn't have this scoped, I believe.
Huh.
I think that's the big one. You have to look up arrow functions. Mozilla's got you covered.
Is it really backwards like that, though?
Yes, I know. That was really weird.
The value comes before the key?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Or none of my code would work right now. Yeah, that hung me up too for about 2 seconds as I looked at it and goes, really? All right.
Okay, so then we've now redefined this to a map. We never call the other functions, so that's just fine. So we only need to update these for now. So command q.push needs to go away. This is now going to be command q position. Command q.
Because ultimately, my goal is to loop through any set of ships that I have as few times as possible, so I can save cycles for intelligence. Right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, because I could do a lot of this stuff by looping through and looping through and looping through and yada yada yada. But it just takes so much time. So I basically, whenever a ship is called up, I only want to process logic for that ship once. But the right logic. Assign states. Assign ship to state. Ship. Yes.
Okay, I think that's right. Same thing here. In which case...
Time to add more comments.
So test position get. If it is targeted, then we're not going to go there. Instead, we're going to go to ship.position. We don't even need that. Ship.position is targeted equals ship. And ship.position, ship move south. So that's fine. This becomes test position then. Don't need the extra stuff. Okay, that one should be remapped.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd, indeed. Okay, next up, we're going to go back up to the move. We're going to do the same thing, but let's clean this up again. So, var test position equals new position. So then, test position equals that. Ah. So, if our test position is targeted, then location is targeted, staying still. So in that situation, we're going to do exactly what we did before. Wait, we don't want to move in this position though. Redundancy, looking over code. Location is targeted, staying still. Boom. Okay. That's fair. So then else location is not targeted, so then we do the other two commands, which is this one. Okay, except we're going to go north. Okay, so those are the two. And then we've got the delivery person never has this problem, but the person going out, if the location is already targeted, but we can't move, then we're going to take our command Q dot set. No, I don't think we want to set it. There's a better way. We can just delete. Command Q delete ship dot position. Ship.halite is greater, so we don't have enough to move. Then if something's not right about this. If ship.position is targeted, delete ship.position.
Oh. I was trying to think. I remember Kevin's little treat yesterday where he said that you should be able to move 4 ships on a 2x2 grid.
Uh-huh.
And so the parallel to that is like, I after I'm done writing all my different logic for movement and checking to see if something can move, what if when it does its processing for movement, all 5 things that it could possibly do have been spoken for? You know? And then I'm like, well, because you can either stay, move north, move south, move east, or move west. So what if 5 higher priority ships have already said those are our spots, dude? What does he do? You know, because even if his spot was to die, right, because he needs to sacrifice himself for the greater good, for that to happen, one of those other high priority ships has to die.
There can't be 5 though.
What?
Unless you're counting the ship that's already sitting there.
Yeah, that's the ship that I'm trying to determine. He needs to move.
Yeah.
But he's low man on the totem pole.
So he stands still.
But there's a ship already being told to move to his spot.
Then he swaps with that person.
But there's 4 ships moving into his cardinals.
That's again, that should have been stopped. Even if the other 4 people were all higher priority than him, the first ship that had the highest priority had the command on the queue. The other 3 couldn't get on the queue because the job was already taken.
No.
Why
so so imagine his node is a super high. The node we can talk about the actual game states, but it doesn't matter. My point is there are 5 ships, higher priority, and all the spots available to this one ship have been taken. So someone was instructed to move on to his spot, which means that person was adjacent to him, right? But it's being told to move on to his spot. There are 4 other ships. Doesn't really matter where they came from, but they're being told to move on to his cardinals, right?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So he now has no out. So that leaves, that's an edge case problem that I currently haven't thought through, right? Because it doesn't. How often does it happen? It usually only happens when the Congo line and it's the dude on the shipyard, right?
Yep.
That's the most likely time we see it. So
you probably give the highest priority to somebody about to arrive to the shipyard or somebody about to leave the shipyard.
So my current code has a solution for that. I just crash into home that usually frees things up, right?
Well, yeah, that's one way.
No, it legitimately works. It's very good. At least with the dumb code that I had. But the problem is, what happens if that happens far out in the field somewhere, right? So I was just saying that's a thought problem that I need to ensure that the way I'm structuring things, I will have a way to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And that brings up Kevin's problem, which is 4 ships in a 2x2 grid being able to move.
Yeah.
And you could say that they just 2 swap, but I don't think it's. I would like them to be more robust than that. Does that make sense? Because it might not always be that swapping is the right idea or the best outcome. What if we could move diagonally? That wouldn't be fair. Yeah, I'm all about robust, chaps. Robust.
So this needs to move up here now. The things I forget about.
Hear that, Brasif? Oh, my son says that to everyone now. It's like, what's up, bro? I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was me or someone. I think it's at school. Blame school for everything. Brotosaurus.
Let's see. Where's the... Don't want to stay up too much longer because I have to get up insanely early to get 30 kids playing this game.
All JavaScript?
Yep.
Sweet.
I mean, they can self-select themselves some other direction. Oh, they destroyed themselves.
No, that's cool. I can't wait for them to be up there and for them to be rating against us. That'll be awesome.
1424.
I wish we could have. I wish as a teacher, and me as an assistant to you, we could do like what the S2 or whatever it is, the Halite people did, where you could have MSA like bots that have specific strategies or specific rating levels, so that you could challenge them to overcome those specific strategies. You know, and like have them rank up above it in the ladder, then group ladder or whatever. Did you find a TOS? Do they stop people from having multiple bots?
I didn't look for one.
You know what I mean? It'd be cool
Yeah.
because you have like your attack bot, you have your sweeper bot. Like they could try to overcome challenges of how they defend against those kind of things or whatever.
I'm sure, I mean, as long as I'm not like rigging the top 10, I don't think anybody's going to care.
I get that they will naturally have to overcome issues, but I like the idea that
Challenges.
it's like a lesson plan essentially, right?
Yeah. Yep.
To overcome a specific bot.
Nico.
That, you know, I might do that. I might just set up a bot once a week for them to work through. Like, you can go back to gaming when you beat this bot. The gym badges. They can collect gym badges.
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
Good idea.
That's why then I'm the idea guy. That's what I'm
There
here
you are. Let's fly Justin's in silver. Right?
With
Is
you.
he not? Did your bot not do so hot?
It's
I thought
it didn't get back to
Didn't you-
57, but
no.
no,
Still, it's losing its matches.
Where did it taper off at?
53.
And it's going up or staying or what's it doing?
It's staying at this point.
Yeah.
Kevin, have a bot?
Dude,
I
the ratings are actually more inflated now, sort of. I think that it's shaking out because I think people's bots are smarter, but there's a lot more at the low end because my bot keeps going up without me doing anything to change it. So I think there's just more bad bots out there. You know what I mean?
Certainly could be.
need to make another bot. I want to actually
Kevin
try.
keeps beating me?
Am I?
I don't know. Last time we played, when did we last play?
But you're higher than me.
Yeah, that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, right? So
I
what
don't know.
cheese strats
When
are
did I
you
last play
implementing?
you?
It was a while
Me?
ago. Yeah. I'm basically playing Justin right now. Like, just in
Yeah, we
normal
haven't-
games.
We haven't played. We must not have played recently at all.
Yeah. No challenge. Like, challenges have become shorter to, 11 games to challenge instead of 30. Mainly
Yeah.
be-
Oh, I get my butt kicked by some of these much better bots. People that, like you, probably specifically go for, spots. Mine are still randomly looking for Halite, and they don't talk to each other with this bot. So that is my biggest downfall. This bot's not going to get higher than it is. I don't know what your deal is, dude. I feel like you more efficiently get Halite than I do.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So I need to fix my navigation. That's my problem right now.
What's wrong with your navigation?
It doesn't consider edge cases because I don't normalize positions.
Do you mean like edges and edge of the map?
Yeah.
Why don't you normalize?
Because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking, hey, move, add the direction to the position. You have your new position. And yeah, so.
Are you telling me your guys... No, they cross over.
Yeah, they cross
they
over. But they crash.
Yeah, they run into each other on the more likely on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you fix that, your bot will shoot up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're dying at the edge here.
Yeah.
That's all. You're just leaving fat nodes right at the edge.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. You efficiently collect Halite and then drop it at the edge.
Sounds accurate. Got to figure out why.
It'll be scary if you just make that one fix. You'll be downright scary. I think you'll get up to like 58, possibly.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you conga line. Because you said you changed that movement. You're not conga lining. That's what you'll. Oh, sorry for bumping. What you'll see a lot of people still do in the 50s is they will get stuck or they will error out. So if you don't have any errors and you're not getting stuck in the conga line, then that's like 10 rating, 15 rating, just like that.
Definitely.
Oh, you have no ships. I was like, why did you flatline? Oh, you've got no ships. Why did you lose all your ships? Did you?
I need to start implementing drop-offs.
Yes.
Like, that'll raise my rank a lot.
If they're intelligent. Otherwise, they are a massive drain on your resources, and you'll fight your current bot, and then your current bot will win by like 3,000 repeatedly, and you'll be like, I don't think the drop-off is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, just looking at this, I tend to get more ships than anyone that I face faster. But if someone gets ships faster than me, then I need to redesign my Halite algorithm.
That's interesting. Oh, you have an attack bot? You dirty. You dirty cheater, Kevin.
Me?
That's worth like 10 ranking points right there, too.
I don't know if it is.
Actually, I know it is. If you take it off, I'm a 43 bot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is it worth 10 points beyond like 53?
I have no idea. I would say even in my current level, it's extremely rare that I ever take 4th, which is the thing that I've kind of used as whether or not it's useful at that level.
Sure.
But I don't know.
So here's the question, Justin. And Kevin, maybe you can speak to it too. I haven't looked at all your games, but like, I remember when you were testing your attack bot, Justin, you said it was important that they went out early.
In a 2-player game, if you don't do it early, yes, it's always very important to do it early for a number of reasons.
So, like, why? Like, because to me that seems like a bad idea. Because if you do it early, and they can stop it, then you have no chance of winning because you've essentially lost a ship, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
except
no chance, but there's a good chance that if it's an even bot,
if it's an even bot, you're screwed no matter how you look at it.
Right, because you're wasting a ship.
Yes, but in terms of it being a viable strategy, I did that in one of the variations. In fact, it might even be the one that's I don't know if it's the one that's up there now. Instead of going right away, I go at the midway point in the game if I have more ships, that's just being abusive. But
I'm winning. Let me press my advantage.
Exactly. But what ends up happening in in a one player, like a 1v1 game, the problem ends up becoming whether or not you can even get the bot to the other side of the map without it getting murdered.
Sure.
The other thing is, for whatever reason, and maybe it just had something to do with my movement code early on, or in my current version of the bot. If you let them die right away, they make room for the other bots that can now move faster, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Richard, you should look at that replay.
I don't understand the last thing you said. They make room for bots that can move faster.
Because they're all theoretically operating right around base. And so having 3 right around base. Why am I looking at it, Kevin? What am I looking for?
Basically, like, before I'm like, hey, let's crash, I get 31 collisions with basically myself.
Because of the edge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely hurt. You get hurt on the small maps because you naturally go up against the edge sooner than later.
Yeah, yeah, oof.
That should be a really easy problem to solve.
Yeah, it is. I just need to implement it, and then I'll probably go up.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to find some more things that I can tune.
What is this green guy doing?
I don't know, but I make ships way faster than him.
That's because you return. He's not returning until like all of them meet some sort of condition. They're working as a team. You can see it, sort of. Or it looks like they're working as a team, but they're not returning on their own basis. Now they are. They get some collision. No? Moving pretty efficiently.
I get 41 games by the time, 41 chips by the time that I'm done reproducing.
This green guy is destroying you.
Yeah, he is.
Because
I crash so much. Basically, I
crash a lot.
40 ships, and then 30 of those crash. Yeah. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Darn.
You crash into him too. You have no concept of where they are. That's not your fault. I mean, that's a lot of us have that because that's hard to do.
I mean, I just don't account for their ships.
Sure.
Okay.
They do have the go to home strategy.
If the ship ID is not ship status.
This guy's actually pretty. This guy has a pretty good bot. Why is he? He's not going to be silver for long.
How can you be
professional at gaming? So he's 53.44.
Ship stat. What that's saying is they have an array of ship statuses. It's keyed on ship ID, meaning every ship in that array has a value, and so they're setting it to exploring. So if ship status for ship 1 equals exploring, then do something. So how can you be in ship status? You just have to have an ID. So that's kind of exactly what I'm doing here, in kind of a weird backwards way. And I didn't watch my bots, but they died, so that can't be a good thing. So like right here, I have an array called my ships, also keyed on ship ID. I'm not using states, I'm using objects, but you can treat them the same way. Just think of this as I'm setting it to move, and so anytime I need to see what that particular ship's value is, I just look at my ships and say, hey, what's the state for ship.id? I'm not sure that made any sort of sense. I'm maybe a little too tired to teach. We'll see how tomorrow goes. It's going to be a nightmare.
Kevin, do I actually beat you when we play each other now?
I don't know.
Have we played each other?
5th place.
Nick?
You're up to 5th already?
Place?
I'm up to 5th.
Amongst MSA?
Yeah, I have a rating of 38 now.
Nice. You're shrekking your brother. Wait till tomorrow.
Reload page.
So Kevin, do I actually beat you?
Clear cache.
I did clear cache.
I don't know.
I don't know how I'm ranked where I am.
You're still 30.
The guy that you faced, I think, is like better.
You're still
than
30 points. Like, did you just submit a bot? Yeah, you just submitted a bot. So it hasn't gone through its paces yet.
It must be the drop-off code. If I'm beating you, it has to be the drop-off code.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
it changed.
That's
well, your rating will plummet every time you submit a bot, but it'll come right
I
back.
have an idea.
Ah, okay, that's why I was so low before. I'm like, what changed?
Yeah, so just so you understand, it's this, so the 43.28, which is where it thinks you're going to end up, minus 3 times the variance, so
I
3.4.
want to challenge Kevin.
So you're off from where you should be by about 10
There you
points
go.
because it still has a lot of variance and
Alright.
trying to figure out where you should be.
Challenge sent, because I think your bot has to be better than mine. Other than if we play on a small map, you'll go die at the edge.
Yeah. Oof.
But I think that's the only I just beat you. It's a 64 map size thing. Okay. So you lacking drop offs has to be a big portion of it then.
Yep, and you're already at 34.13. You might get all the way to 40 with the bot you've got up there right now.
Oh, Kevin, here he comes. Here he comes with his attack bot. And
Oh, no.
Is Simlan the superstar of the MSA group?
At the moment.
Not
Yeah.
surprised. He come in here hot with his super AI.
yeah, I reached out to my buddy Sergey at Google. I was
So-
like, yo, bro, hook me up.
This one person.
Give me some of them algorithms, baby.
So
I need that big brain.
in the Discord, there's someone breaking that they had a machine learning bot and that they're number one machine learning bot. And they're like, hey, so what do you actually machine learn? And he's like, oh, just, an algorithm for just picking up Halite.
That's
Nothing
not machine
else, though.
learning, bro.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, oh, but it's better than my
Hey,
movement. I'm like,
you wanna test the guy? Ask him what his features are and what his target label is.
oh. Yeah, no, I'm just like, not worth my time. He can
I don't know where any of that is.
flaunt.
Kevin just dying at the edge. Hey, you want to know how you beat Kevin right now? Get 2 of your ships with 1,000 halite and crash them at the edge of the map. His guys will go after it and kill themselves trying to get it.
It's a strategy.
It totally works. Oh, it's hilarious. Because you're beating me. You're beating me, but my drop off lets me drop offs. You get drop offs, dude, and you fix that normalize, and you'll be in the 60s. Easy.
Kevin will be the first one to 60.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for GitHub.
I have 2
reports.
drop offs. I created 2 in this game. I wonder if I create a 3rd. Probably not. Oh, it's the end of the game.
For each final.
Oh, they all crashed home really quickly, though. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, I also need to fix that algorithm.
No, mine crashed super early. I don't know
Like
why they
mine?
crashed that early.
It's 25 turns.
Mine is variable based on the number of ships and the distance they are.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
And the number of ships is not super intelligent because I just use like 3 divide by 3
You're going to be object oriented
right now.
now? Yeah, just
I
tell
mean,
tell
I
each
am.
individual bot to
Also,
go
ask
home
him
based on
ask
distance.
him what his machine learning algorithm
Well,
is
that's what they
using
were
is.
doing before.
And that's not enough to get him home in time?
No, mine got home too early in this recent match versus Kevin, and I don't know how they got home so early. Like I lost.
It's 450.
I probably lost like 30 turns that didn't need to be lost, at least, or more. So that's where I could machine learn my crash strategy,
What's
Okay.
that?
I think, right?
You do
What is
that,
machine
like-
learning? You just have inputs, and then you
Well,
try
as
to
a recent
tried to look
certificate
at-
receiver,
try
Oh,
to
really?
look at their outputs.
Nice.
what
change
is machine
things.
learning?
Mhm.
It's, well, you're pretty much right, Plaid. But what you do is you basically have, it's like taking a basic regression to like a way higher level. So you have a variety of
I'm
what are
stealing
called
code words.
features,
Features,
right? Which
okay.
are basically just like variables, right?
Variables. Yep.
Right. So it'd be like columns in a chart. So you have like a chart of data. And in this
Well,
case,
in this
like
case,
I was
it's columns of data.
yeah. So
Halite.
in
Cell
this case,
size.
no. So what you're looking for would
it's
be
not a
like
feature.
your target, which is called your label, which would be like Halite collected probably, right? Because that's the win condition, right?
In
Halite
this
collected?
case, it would be if I was testing something, I'd be testing. Can you can test one small thing, right?
Well, the idea is so what you'd have a whole bunch of things like from what I've seen from what you guys do is to win the game you have to collect the most Halite.
You just copied my code.
I did. I told you that. I said I'm going to copy your code.
So, Halite would be your label, the thing you're trying to predict. And
It's not going to work though.
No.
You need to delete extra.
Yep.
So, in this case, you would have to look at different things you can know. So, what could you do? You could maybe have, let's say, number of ships, right? So you create a number of ships. That'd be one feature, one variable. Another one might be number of drop-off points. That could be another one. Another one might be like maybe you categorize a type of behavior, right? So let's say you have a behavior, you have like
Are you talking about features right now?
Yeah. So you'd have like I'm trying to give you like an idea of how you can build machine learning algorithm.
Yep. No, I'm with you. So features by definition, do they have to be something you can change?
Yeah, so they're your dependent variable.
So you have to be able to change them up front, right?
Or it has to be a condition that you can track.
Wait, so
condition
you don't have to be able to change them.
Is it observable or is it something that you have to define? You know what I'm saying?
It'd be something that you'd have to be able to put either a category or a number to.
Okay. Because a lot of stuff, so like in my case, drop-offs created is not necessarily something that so for me, that wouldn't be something that would be a feature, I think, based on this definition, because I would observe to see how many drop-offs were created, but I have some fudge variables that I do play around with that end up getting things created. And those are like compound things, so you can look at like, I want to see this outcome based on this, like total Halite collected based off number of drop-offs that were created, but the thing that I'm actually changing is number of ships divided by some number, right? And that some number is the thing that I actually change.
Okay, so when you're building a algorithm, you wouldn't be changing. It's not like an experiment, right? So you wouldn't be changing things. What you'd do is you'd run a whole bunch of things and collect data, and then try to predict outcomes based off of that data. So in this case, you'd be like, okay, let's say you have 4 different types of bot behavior that you have, and you categorize them. You'd have behavior type 1, which is, I don't know, sits around the base. Behavior type 2 is a pansy. Behavior type 3 is an explorer, and behavior type 4 is like a super aggressive warrior bot, right? So what you do is you'd because you can run these simulations over and over again. So you'd have that, and maybe you'd have like some kind of either categorical or numerical feature that described how much Halite was on the board or distance to nearest Halite nodes or whatever. You can come up with a whole bunch of shit, and then you could do 2 things. In this case, what I do is like a supervised learning where you could run a bunch of simulations and you would change some of these things so you'd have different data points and you'd see how much Halite you collected. And then what you could do is run a model where you build a model and then you can use that model to go, okay, let's say I built this many ships. This is my category of, I don't know, ship that I'm using and whatever. And then it would predict how much Halite you would then collect, knowing in the past that this is kind of what you'd do. And you can kind of manipulate a little bit about, what you find more important. So let's say you really want, I don't know, number of ships, and you could do a calculated column where you like squared the number of ships to really make it an aggressive thing, or there's a bunch of stuff you can do when it comes to that, right? So it's like but that's what I would kind of do just looking at this. would be my first thing. Like if you just want like a basic thing where you'd have a model just to kind of go, okay, what if I see this on the board? Maybe you could even do like initial things or like midpoint in a game, like what you might see. Like there's a lot of periods in which you could set like when you're collecting the data and then predict like the halite that you get at the end. So like let's say you have like a midpoint. What does my game look like? Midpoint, I have this many ships, this much halite, this many enemy ships, these like maybe median distance from the base. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff you could do. And then you knowing that after running a bunch of simulations, you could go, okay, the next time I run into this, what is the expected amount of halite that I'll get? And then what you could do is use the model. Like after you built it, you wouldn't be doing this while you're running your simulation. You'd build the model and then you'd bring the model into your simulation, which could just be as simple as like a regression equation or something like that, where you just plug in the figures and get something back that tells you maybe the parameters you're going for. Like you're going to try to hit a certain number of ships. You're going to try to have a certain number of them have a certain behavior, that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So that's how you could maybe build like a machine learning model. Like AI would be a little bit different, where you could go way deeper, where you could have like you could teach your bots like the best kind of search patterns or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Because like you'd build AI is built off of like kind of like, this is real like simplified, but it's like the Diet Coke version of it. But AI is built off of like machine learning across like things. Sometimes I get it's like I'm not an expert. I just I know more than I did, and I know enough to know that I don't fucking know anything. You know? Like,
Yes, Kevin.
How do you get? What's the function to get the length or size of like me dot chips? Get chips. Like, is it dot
size?
Or
well,
size?
if you pull from underscore ships, it's dot size. If you use the me dot get chips, it's an array. So dot length.
Dot length. Okay.
Because they convert the map to an array when you use get chips. To which I say, boo! I want the map.
See, I just like look at Justin's code and I want to be like,
go and get that
I
map.
just want classes. I want you to like just have, your bot classes, and then you have like behavior classes, and then you
I have that. What are you talking about?
Man. Well, you didn't the last time. I haven't been looking tonight. Like a couple days ago, you didn't have that.
He's just getting upset because I had the same criticism.
I have.
But
This
I've
is-
been
this is
object
what I looked
oriented
at,
for
like, a
like
couple
5
months
days.
Oh, okay.
No. What it is,
Fair enough.
is Justin's naming scheme doesn't make it super obvious that that's what they are.
Fair. Sure. You guys can't get past the word turtle for some reason.
That is the big one. That's what it is, right?
Yeah. No. That's You can't get past the word turtle.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. You have a step. That's all you do is step, right?
Yep. Which is what Chops just described as a movement class. That is what it is.
Right. Yes.
So I have to ask you a question, Richard, because I believe I know what problem I'm running into here, but I don't know.
There are some differences though between us.
That's
for sure.
There are differences.
So I'm not used to using maps in this way.
Sure.
I
like how I'm suddenly an expert, but goddamn, I don't know anything.
I'm assuming you've tested past this point. So here's my question.
I don't have what I told you implemented yet.
Okay, then in which case I may be implementing this for you and saving you a headache.
Possibly.
How, if I send in...
Because position and new position are different? Is that your problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's working. I don't think it's
It might
working
not work
specifically
because it might
because of
return
that.
a different hash. I've thought about it, but I didn't get there yet. I might convert it into a string and use the string as the hash. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you could just go down the route of doing a two-dimensional array.
Interesting.
I probably will still stay with the map and probably convert it to a string. Because I saw that coming, you know, I saw that problem coming at me. Like, I'm pretty sure it's in a comment somewhere where I'm like, when I get around to this, remember, this gonna hurt. Also, do you know if you send all your bots north,
Yes.
or I should say, if you make 2 bots and just send them north and they just continue to loop but don't crash into each other, like, you can get like 300 halite. It's not super useful.
There was someone that works at Google. They basically spawned only one ship, and it went upwards. Once it was full, it went back downwards. And it just cleared the whole line. And I was like, hey, add one that goes right too. So then he did that too. And he was solid, like, high bronze.
Yeah. No, because legitimately, if you're not effectively spending the halite to get more halite, you're wasting halite. So if you only create one ship and they go out and they collect relatively intelligently, or at least manage to get lucky, you can not do so bad compared to people that just spend all their cash on dumb ships that do nothing but crash and die.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin?
Boy. No need to hate.
I don't hate. I just like that I can make fun of you for a little while before you fix it, and then you just shoot up past me. Gotta relish in the moments when I got him.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Got him.
McDonald's.
So is it bad if I just keep resubmitting little changes?
No.
No.
I mean,
What it
year,
is, from a rank, it'll drive you down, and it might take a while to come back up, but that's about it.
last year, I think first place had 222 games.
Yeah, they did. If I remember, Justin showed me that link. They had a lot of submits.
But
and not only that, but if you delete your bot like Justin did when he refactored, I believe, it clears out your version number, right, Justin?
No.
No.
It doesn't? I thought it did.
No, it never resets anything.
Oh, I thought it did when you deleted.
Nope. When I deleted it, it reset my interface. There was no way for me to get my old bot back at that point, but my version numbers are still accurate. I'm on version 49 or 50 or whatever right now.
Oh man, I've done no coding because we talk. Let's see.
Right?
I've made comments.
I didn't even open up my computer today yet. Pretty tragic.
Let's see.
All right, let us code.
So they uploaded on Discord a Halite.exe that was technically less CPU intensive.
Okay.
Yeah. just yeah.
Not saying it was exactly CPU intensive to start with, so
It was for some. Because of
like
bad
people
computers
running on a calculator
and people doing gym.
doing the gym.
Yeah, training, like, just keep on
Yep.
running their bots.
Yeah, Justin. I don't know. I asked Justin about that, and he didn't seem too cool about it, or I don't know if he even tried it.
Sorry, what?
I am running it locally a lot, though.
What are we talking about?
That way. The gym?
Yeah, it didn't. I couldn't get it to work with the JavaScript.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't try it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Python intensive or whatever. Oh,
Like I couldn't even. It wasn't like the batch files where you can just change out the.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't even do that. It forces it to be the Python bot.
tragic.
It is.
It just be like that sometimes.
I'll be right back.
Checking the map. Well, object we need to do a bit extra. If is exists, shy object ID. Define before or. Using objects as keys in JavaScript map. I mean, I'm 99% certain this doesn't work because this is not allowed. It's object as his key without converting. Set object one. Huh.
Ooh.
API and JavaScript with two arrays, one for keys, one for values, shared by the four API. Setting elements on the map would involve pushing a key and value. Let me see the
I'd say
key.
hash maps are pretty cool.
Getting values from a map would involve. It's one of the reasons why I love PHP. Getting values from the map.
Literally nobody says that for real.
Hash
No, I'm just
maps?
kidding.
Oh,
Once again, 6 years old on that joke.
Getting values
At
from
least,
the map.
at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
The best part is if I go say that in the Discord for the people who are coding Halite, I will literally get one person that rants for the next 24 hours about how bad PHP is. It's great.
like everyone just likes their one program. Like
Why do
Tor,
people not like
it's C.
PHP?
There's
Well, to
don't
be
start.
okay. Here we go. Well, PHP was rough years ago,
It still is.
right?
Why?
Because it played fast and loose with a lot of conventions and
Here, you want me?
stuff.
You want me to?
And I think it got a little drama because of it could be pretty insecure with. It was one of those things that was easy to get going, and there's a lot of insecure shit because you'd have people that didn't know what they were doing using it too. But Justin knows better than I do, so.
Well, yeah, like a lot of the stuff started, and Richard, you know this because you were there when they got rid of it. But the really big problem with it that everybody got frustrated with was the whole let's define get variables as regular variables without the user doing anything. So you could basically overwrite any get variable or any variable in the code from the get query line. Yeah, that was back in PHP 4 days. But since then, like if we're talking just language for language, what people like, don't like, a C programmer will complain about how PHP abuses memory in ways that a C programmer would never do.
Well, nobody listens to them.
Well, everybody has their own. But if you really want every possible reason for why PHP is the worst language ever,
literally Google it.
Well, you could do that.
You'll get rants on top of rants.
Or go join the Discord and go back to what was that, Monday? Sunday? What day was it that what's his name was just ranting about PHP literally all day?
I think it was George 101, right?
I don't know. Chad Tor made the mistake of saying PHP was better than JavaScript, and
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was George 101.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where's the? I don't know. I'm done scrolling. I want to keep reading about this. So, such an implementation would have two main. The first one is that object end set and search. Right through the list of keys to find the measurement.
I think for something like this, PHP's. I don't know. PHP is meant to get certain things up and running, but it's not really built to craft stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Chator.
You know what I mean?
Chator just writes on the stack 100% because they use C.
I don't know what that means.
Stack of memory data. So C, since it's a low-level program, it has to handle every single memory.
So you'd look into like how you manage your heap and your stack, and like if you're doing super low-level programming and you're managing memory on your own, you have to understand where you're actually putting things. And then you have, you got to understand pointers and all that nonsense, which is like fun until you want to make anything non-trivial, and then you go, this is not fun, and then you just completely ignore it for higher level languages, which take care of all that nonsense. Because like in C, you have to know what you're gonna do, and then you have to you basically have to ask to do it, and then you got to remember to go, okay, I did this, you can have it back, right? So you have to garbage collect. Like there's no built-in garbage collecting, so you have to release everything that you're not using. And if you mess up, then you're going to be in a bad spot where either your program crashes or you just use a shit ton of memory, and that's how you get memory leaks.
Yeah.
And it's
so
cool.
Chator writes everything to the stack, which is...
But it makes you appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the higher level stuff where all that stuff, you don't even have to worry about it. Like you create a list, you don't have to worry about like, oh, all right, now when I'm done with this list, go ahead and tell the operating system that I'm done.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
I'm winning against Richard on lower sized maps, and I'm losing on bigger sized maps.
That's not what I saw.
We've played 6 games. Look at like the last 2. I won on a 32 by 32.
Okay, I'm giving up on this.
Yeah, but did you see why? I guess we did play 2 big ones. Never mind.
I am crashing a lot.
Hey,
You're crashing again. Too.
What was that?
I'm crashing into you.
No,
I'm back in 5th place.
Back in 5th. Nice.
Hey,
nice.
Can I talk about how nonsense it is that Seagull's not playing Season 2 Overwatch League?
Oh, really?
We've known that for like months.
I mean,
yeah, but I said, can I talk about how nonsense that is?
Isn't Seagull like the only good player on Dallas Fuel?
No, that I would not say that.
Well, now.
But what I would say
technically
is
he's not on the
that
fuel, but
I feel like he wouldn't have quit if he wouldn't have had such a bad experience with shitty coaching and management.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I 100% believe he wouldn't have.
no,
because-
he wouldn't have quit if he didn't have something to fall back on, which is
Yeah,
why all
but-
the
but
other
I
people are
think
still
he
playing
quit
because they
because-
burnt out all of their players.
Well, yeah, but I think he quit because of the experience he had. Like, I think if it's funny that they gave up on him right away when everybody who watched the matches was like, it's not him. He's literally your top performer, and you're blaming him because it's one Kai is probably the worst coach I've ever seen in my life.
Sure.
And then like you have management coming in going, well, MV has just dominated. Why aren't they wrecking? And it's like, well, because you have a completely different game that's being played. You have a group of players that you've never encountered before, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like you're a varsity team kicking the shit out of every JV team around, and everybody else decided to make varsity teams.
Mhm.
You know, if you're a high school person, or you're like a D2 team or D1 playing D3 all day long, and then going, oh wait, when they combine all their best players, it's a completely different game, you know?
Yeah.
And then they gave up on him immediately, and they made him relearn an entire role, and he came back and dominated, which demonstrated that it wasn't him. It wasn't him all along, and it was obvious as hell that it wasn't him all along. It was the core that was misperforming. It was it was Mickey. Just put out, it was Mickey. Like he's
Have a good night,
goddamn,
Chopper.
he's such a liability. It hurts my face. Like just because the dude is smiling and has a positive attitude does not mean he's good to work with or he's good at what he does. And I think that's one of the things that Kai wasn't there to make the hard decisions because he got forced into being a coach. He's a player that just got forced into being a coach.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there to go, okay, you're playing poorly. And everybody can see it. And you're playing a key role. And Overwatch is one of those games where you can't have weak tank lines.
It takes a village.
Well, that's the thing, is like Overwatch is one of those games where it's if you're all relatively equal, the people doing damage can't carry. It's the people the people allowing damage. It's about synergy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because I feel like he would have stayed on for another season if he would have had a better experience. Yeah, I think he would have dealt with losing fine. But the fact that they just threw him in the freaking doghouse for something that wasn't his fault, because they made the assumption that Envious kicked butt and was doing poorly and it's him, was just sad. And the fact that he came back and did well, and then he was like, I'm done with this nonsense.
Yeah.
And in the long term, it's whatever. Because he'll make good money for a while streaming, and he's a smart guy. And if he was real smart, he'd start positioning himself as somebody that can manage online communities and do that kind of digital marketing stuff for like the long term if he wants to work after that. But
Yep.
But I think he could have had another really good season and come out even better, because he killed this stream real hard and then dropped out as like a stopgap as opposed to, you know, riding out the low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think
can't blame him.
They just burnt everyone out.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not gonna blame the guy, because I'm sure it's like he goes in, he's worked his ass off, and he's getting like the biggest stress in your life is being blamed for something you have no control over, and then he gets relegated to sitting in the back room doing nothing, comes out, demonstrates that he can overcome and be a dominant player. And then by then, I think it was too late. I think he just came out and was like, I'm going to do it, demonstrate I can do it, and then be like, I'm done. Because he can't play games forever. I'm sure he thought about all this. He's like, I can't play games forever, so I have to go out strong. And I'm going to come out, I'm going to stream where I can make way more money. And then, for a certain number of years until that popularity falls off. And then you parlay that into a career where you can demonstrate that you know how to manage a brand, you know how to all this stuff that's good in marketing, especially with digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like being a successful streamer, if you don't make enough to like be set for life, you can still parlay that into skill sets where you know how to manage an online community, you understand how to manage a brand and create that kind of support and stuff like that. That's what you parlay it into, and boom, that's your follow-up career, as it were.
Oh, this is a good sign.
But it's just too bad because I've broken 2 Dallas Fuel freaking tumblers because they're the slipperiest glasses I've ever had in my life. I'm not even kidding, dude. I had I got bought one. And then it slipped out of my hand just walking, and I was like, what the heck? And so I was like, screw that. I ordered 2 more. I was like, I'm going to have one and then one to drink out of. And the other one dropped in the sink an inch above the sink bottom while I was washing it and shattered. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, what is this?
Thanks, Chippy.
And I have
You're probably already gone,
I
but
have other tumblers that I have drank out of for years.
Nice.
And they're easy to hold and they never slip. And those are like the slipperiest glasses I think I've ever consumed beverages out of in my life.
That's weird.
And I don't know what it is about them. Like, I don't know if it's the coating that they use to get the logo on, or if it's the shape. But they're like the slipperiest, like they just slip out. And I've broken 2.
Rip.
And I have a glass that I've had since... I'm literally drinking out of a tumbler that I've been drinking out of since... Let me guess. 2009, maybe? Let me think. 2000... Yeah, around that. Because Jesse made it for me.
Made it for you?
Yeah, he etched our wild character names into them.
Got it.
No. So, and this is from years ago.
I thought he blew the glass.
No. He did that. He bought the tumblers and then used glass etch to etch our character names in.
Cool.
So I got my vector glass right here, and it's beautiful. And I've, been using it for, I don't know, however 8 to 10 years or however long. So it's not that like I have a problem with dropping glasses, especially when it's 2 of them in a couple months. You know what I mean? Like there's something about those glasses that make them extra slippery. I don't know if it's coating or how they're made. Maybe they're shaped like they kind of come in at the top a little bit. I don't know.
Weird.
Congrats, Justin. Didn't break this time.
But it makes me sad because I had my tumbler and I got my shirt when I'm watching my boys play.
It broke.
Oh, they
Darn.
crashed.
But the bot didn't crash.
Oh.
Correct.
Just stopped working.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Good night.
See ya.
Don't let the
You just gotta program harder, Justin.
Well,
Well, no.
getting late.
That is, I want to code, but at the same time, watching the stream,
early
We're going to bed.
morning.
I will be there. I played against Cheppy. He does a
You
challenge.
just deleting stuff just casually.
Casually deleting stuff. Oof. Rip Chippy.
Look at all these if. Why do you have these?
What?
He goes if gamed at turn number equals 10. If gamed at turn number equals 10.
I'm just forcing. See, something
Yeah.
went wrong there. I'm just forcing ship spawns.
Time's best.
Um,
Yeah, why does it take forever for you to spawn ships? Like,
because
It are-
I'm forcing them on 10, 20, 30, and 40.
like,
It's not
Like,
smart
yeah.
spawning right now. It's forcing specific turn spawning.
also, Richard's bot spawning. It takes
Huh?
him. It takes you 9 turns to get your initial 5 bots out there.
Blah blah blah.
You
Blah, blah, blah.
waste 4 moves.
No. I waste about 250 moves.
Yes, but the initial 4 are what counts.
They all count. That's why I'm refactoring.
That's
Tired.
why you're rewriting.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause it
I'm going to do this
Maybe
one last analysis, and then I think I'm
too
going to go to
hard.
bed.
with what I had.
You're not gonna make a vehicle bot. Can you make like just? Do you
Tank
have a
bot.
GitHub? Does Tristan have GitHub?
No.
No.
I have an
Whoa.
account, but I don't have anything posted. Okay, right
Whoa.
there. What turn was that? So
Oh,
turn,
you do. Oh, this repo is empty. Dang.
Turn 36 to
I have
37.
a GitHub.
You do?
Yeah, I haven't touched it in like 4 years.
Maybe you should have added your account to it.
Location 7. Okay, so
Why
it
would I
needs...
do a thing like that?
Oh. Ooh, that's cool.
1. Clearing a command. 1. Staying due to lack of halite in hold. 8 is not targeted. Moving.
All right. Well,
so clear
my
14, 19.
my talking was muted.
14,
Yes,
19 would have
CI.
been...
41,
So
31?
it actually cascades. That's going to be a problem.
Assignments.
I was gonna say, Plaid's got a GitHub. What kind of exciting libraries has he created?
Oh, that's you, right?
Yeah.
No, never mind. Cut thing.
I hope you have a script that just repeats the person's name and then insults them.
Does Vector have one? Does
Oh.
have one.
This is
No.
JJ's code as I was
Yes and no.
troubleshooting it.
And
I made one a
it's-
long time ago, but it is lost to the ages.
Of course.
That was a long time ago, and I was interested in websites, and then I realized that building websites sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, forked.
And it sucks because there's just way too many people that just it's too fad oriented.
Bad as in.
FAD, a fad.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I'm
Like, there's
sleepy.
too many fads, and it just was annoying because nobody actually improved on anything in that space. It was just a whole lot of nonsense. And somebody was like, "I want to be a web developer. What should I build it, or should I just use a I don't know, framework, whatever?" And I suggested, I was like, well, if you want to demonstrate you know what you're doing, just build your own. It's
Yeah.
it's not that hard. And everybody's like, you're dumb. Why would you do that? And I was like, because all you stupid fucks that claim that you're
We are on
programmers
stream
and
too.
use sorry, all you unintelligent people that pretend to be programmers. If you just put a bunch of libraries together, you're a script kiddie, and you actually don't understand what you're doing. And then when the technology moves beyond you, that's when you struggle
Yeah. When you don't have
because you
access
don't
to
even
those scripts.
understand how this stuff is made. Putting a WordPress site together doesn't make you a web developer. It just makes you a website creator. You know what I mean? Like if you're using so many tools that other people are making and you have no concept of what you're doing, you're not developing anything. You're building it. You're piecing it together like a PC.
Yeah.
And
That's
it was like it was one of those things where you'd have a whole bunch of people being like, somebody'd ask a question like, how does this work? And they'd be like, just use jQuery. And the question was, how does it work? But they didn't know how it worked. They'd just be like, oh, just use the jQuery library that does all this stuff for you. I was like, that doesn't answer any questions. And they'd be like, well, I just have I have like 3 static HTML pages, which I use. And they'd be like, you gotta load up jQuery. You gotta load up 18 JavaScript libraries with a whole bunch of crap you'll never use.
Yeah.
And just to throw out a couple static pages. And it's like, that's why nobody respects them. And that's why I lost respect for the whole space back then, was I was like, nobody understands what they're doing. There's like a couple of people that build it, and everybody else just pretends that like, oh, you got a problem to solve? Just if jQuery can't do it, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, just wait for them to build it. And I was like, you can program, like if you have like 4 things you're doing on your site, just make your own JavaScript page with your 12 lines of JavaScript, and your whole site will run fast, and you'll never have to worry about it. It'll be super easy to update because you don't have to worry about updating 18 dependencies over and over and over and over again.
So,
you know what I mean?
Kevin, I got
and
a
that's
question
what
for
made
you.
me hate. That's what made me hate web development.
Before I sign off here for the night, because I do want to. I want to conceptualize what you're doing in a particular situation. So you have queue control for all practical purposes, right? Like that's what you're doing.
What's queue control?
So if a move hits the stack that collides with another move, you then reconcile?
Yeah.
What do you do when that daisy chains like crazy?
What do you mean, daisy chain?
So ship 1 ship 1 trips ship 2 trips ship 3 trips that.
But put simply, it will never daisy chain.
Okay, so what did you do to accomplish that?
So I basically have 2 loops. The first loop and the second loop. Pretty straightforward. So the first loop, it goes through all of the ships and asks the simple question of, do you plan on moving? Now, if they're like, I do not plan on moving, then it puts that into the position chart. But if they do plan on moving, it goes off later, which means that...
Yeah, so you've probably... Okay, I think you just answered the question I needed answered. So that right there, that loop you just did, guarantees that a ship that's incapable of moving...
will not move.
Will not move, and nobody will try to make a bot incapable of moving move.
Yeah, nobody will move to that tile because that bot will stay there.
Yeah. But
there's still room for optimization, but yes,
so
he never hits that case with that logic.
Yeah. So you could the tweak there would be just loop over all the bots that are incapable of moving, not necessarily the ones that don't want to, but
correct,
the ones that are incapable.
Well, like it just checks if it won't move, and it does check incapable of like, oh, it needs Halite to move.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at.
What we're saying is where you could have room for improvement is that a bot is telling you that I'm not going to move, but that bot may not necessarily know that actually it's probably better for it to move. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
So here, and we might be splitting hairs here, Kevin. You might be doing exactly what we think you're doing.
No, he's doing it just fine. It just, like I said, the bot is not. Sorry.
Yeah. When you said, Kevin, just to be clear, when you said it goes through and asks every bot, does it want to move? Is it only asking, is it able to move? As in, is it only checking Halite, or is it actually saying, like, I don't want to move because I'm still picking up Halite?
It does both.
Doing the latter.
Yeah, it's doing the latter. Yeah. So in certain, rarer situations, and actually, remember the situation we looked at yesterday where your bot went south to go around?
Yeah.
I doubt that was the trigger, but this is an example of it. In some situations, if your bot is able to move, it probably, if another bot needs it to move, it probably should.
So that's the thing, right? And that's something you can work on, but that's basically, instead of solving on a per ship basis, you solve on an X ship basis. What is the best move for these X ships to make at the same time? Now, I would say on the whole that the solving per ship basis versus the solving X ship basis, that the percentage difference between like what outcome you'll get, I'd be very curious to see if that's significant.
Well, so here's the thing. Now that Kevin said what, and thank you for this, Kevin, because that was the thing I was looking for. So right now, the game I'm playing right now, it will never happen. The situation that I was describing, because there are only 2 bots on the board for each player. So I have got this working, which is the first step in getting the command queue working, and the bots will never collide, and they will move efficiently over one another without having any sort of trouble, which is awesome. If I add a third bot into here, they'll get in trouble eventually. It might take 1,000 turns, but they'll get in trouble. If I had a 4th bot, it's going to take less. If I had a 5th bot, it'll take even less. And the trouble that they'll get into is the rare occurrence where a bot that is incapable of moving gets analyzed after somebody who wants to move. And if it only happens once, I can undo I could set up some undo chain logic, but that's what I'm trying to get at. I don't want to have to go down a chain that could be 20 things long. I'd rather prevent that chain from ever getting created in the first place. And because the fact of the matter is, a bot that literally can't move, a bot that is blocked from moving, there's nothing I could do about it anyway other than collide with it. And
that may be the right decision.
Well, but I can make the decision to collide with it isn't going to be made at the bot that can't move. It's going to be made at the bot that can. So
True.
What I would rather do is go through, mark everybody that is completely unable to move, and then I will never find myself in a situation where there is a 15 bot chain that I need to somehow fix, because the problem is a bot that is completely immovable is what's going to create that chain. It's not a bot that wants to move a certain way that's going to create that chain. It's a bot that is completely unmovable. So I will add that tomorrow. So here's where we're at to end the night for me, because like I said, I got to wake up tomorrow morning to teach a bunch of kids Halite. So at this point, my north-south bot is now doing what they should be doing. They will move perfectly and effectively, crossing paths. It's beautiful. The next step is to get it to handle 3, and Kevin has given us the solution here right at the end of the night to do that. So thank you, Kevin, for that. I'll get that code into place hopefully sometime tomorrow. I might even do it during Computer Club if the kids are all busy seeing what they can make their bots do. And with that, appreciate you guys being here tonight. Is that 10 nights in a row? Was tonight episode 10? Yeah, it was. 10 nights in a row of streaming this stuff already. It has gone by fast, and it feels like it's been months, in a good way. So with that, have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to y'all later, I guess tomorrow night after the birthday party. So see you guys later.